Welcome in to Cleveland Browns Daily. Nathan Zegura, Jason Gibbs with you here today. Some news already coming out of the Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea. J.C. Tretter, the Browns center and NFLPA president, said this morning that he was feeling some symptoms, came in to be tested. He is tested positive. He will miss that game, breaking one of the most impressive streaks in the NFL. Tretter has played every single offensive snap for the Browns in every game for the last 5 seasons. And for those of you who watch these games, and maybe you don't see all the stuff, let me tell you this. There were, I don't know, a dozen times at least over these 5 seasons that while being on the sideline with J.C. Tretter and seeing him, I was sure that streak would be broken, and it never was. This dude is as tough as they come. And it's a shame to see the streak broken this way, but he is on the COVID-19 list. Good news, many reports indicating that the Browns will have both Grant Delpit and right tackle James Hudson back for this game, that they should be activated off of the COVID-19 list today. Also, some practice updates for you really quickly. Myles Garrett did not practice with his groin injury today. John Johnson III did not practice with his hamstring injury today. Malik Jackson didn't practice with a knee injury, but that veteran has been gutting it out for this football team, because I can tell you he is nowhere near 100%, but yet he has been out there each and every week for the Cleveland Browns, trying to make sure that they can achieve their goals this season. So that's what you got. That's what the Browns are faced with right now. Uncertainty. Baker Mayfield not yet activated off the COVID-19 list. That should come, and I say the word should, maybe I should say the word could come Saturday. Now, you still, even when your 10 days are up, you still have to pass some testing to be allowed to come back and play. And so if it isn't until Saturday that he's cleared, he would have to have separate transportation on Saturday to Lambeau.
I don't think he can fly on Friday with the team. I don't think he can fly Friday.
Unless he comes out tomorrow.
Correct.
So that's something, obviously, that we will be tracking.
Saturday morning could have a lot of drama, because there's a number of players that would be at the 10-day point at that time.
Yes. So that's where things stand right now here at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea for the Cleveland Browns. And look, it's happening all around the league. I didn't see this. I'm looking as we go through the show. Bottom of the hour, we will go around the league, and 1:15 will also go around the league. There's just so much going on around the league. Plus, we'll have Rob Domofsky, ESPN NFL Nation reporter, as well. It is just a wild, wild situation going on in the league. Dalvin Cook, I know, was added to list, some fantasy implications.
I didn't know if you'd seen that, because I knew you were running around doing some other things.
Oh, I had seen it. Yes, I had Christmas this morning. This morning was was our Christmas, and huge thanks to my family and to my wife's family, the wonderful Lockharts, for pretending. We pretended last night was Christmas Eve, and we woke up and had Christmas morning. And then tonight we're gonna have tonight we're gonna have our Christmas dinner. The prime rib is in the sous vide. I've already seared it to get it ready to go, and now it's going to be in there. At,
how many pounds is that bad boy?
This one hit a record 15.
So,
I had to cut it into 2 pieces because it wouldn't fit in any of my stuff.
Correct. So the question becomes, what does that cook down to? Because ultimately it's going to cook down.
That is a good question. I mean, I don't know. It's substantial. Let's put it that way. It's a monster. It's a full 7 bones. The Hoff saw it. I sent a picture of it to the Hoff, and the Hoff said he believed that's from a 4,000-pound steer. And I had fun with Beau, and I said I think it's clearly from an elite brown spotted that produced this prime rib. But
still dying on that sword.
Oh yeah, an elite one. And so it's very exciting. So that's coming tonight. So yeah, it is kind of everything's all thrown off, and then I will head to Green Bay with the squad tomorrow and get ready for the Browns and the Packers and Christmas Day and all of the excitement that will come with that game, and hopefully a big-time performance from our Cleveland Browns, because, quite frankly, we need it, folks. I mean, it's not easy. You go through the stats, and you look for the angles, and you try to say, okay, well, what is it that you must do to beat this football team? Well, number one, we know that you cannot lose the turnover battle. I think that's 29-0 in the last 3 years. Not like in a while. It's 29-0 in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, kind of impressive.
Kind of. Yeah, so they're pretty good. Rodgers in his last 14 home regular season starts, 38 touchdowns and 3 picks. I mean,
he's due for a pick or two.
That's absurd.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Listen, they're the only team undefeated at home this year. They're due for a loss. They lost one last year. They had the best home record in the NFL last year, 7-1. They only have 2 more games to lose this game. By the way, they've gone at home. Here's their at-home record since LaFleur's become their coach. 7-1, 7-1, 6-0. They've won 11 straight at home, longest
Great
streak in the
regular
league.
season team.
Yeah.
Regular season.
So far, because this team feels like they're pretty stout there with Aaron Rodgers. But so that's where we stand for the Browns. Stefanski is back. We know that. You get Hudson back. So if you have Hudson back and you don't have J.C. Tretter, the question becomes who starts at center for this Cleveland Browns team? And there are a few options. Nick Harris would be an option to start for you at center. Blake Hance, before he became tackle Blake Hance, spent basically a lot of training camp as center Blake Hance. Michael Dunn has also been center Michael Dunn for the Cleveland Browns this year. And so Dunn played, I thought, an excellent game. There's probably, a few plays. Everybody wants to have a few plays back. But in terms of pass blocking and pass protecting, he didn't allow a single pressure at left guard.
So do you leave Bitonio out at left tackle?
No, I think – well, you're right. Wills has not yet been activated.
Correct.
Okay, so as it stands today, what you would have is, I'm guessing, Bitonio left tackle, Dunn left guard, Nick Harris or Blake Hance center, or those two could be interchanged, Teller right guard, Hudson right tackle. So that's probably where you are as of today. If Wills comes back, then you would be able to kick Joel back into left guard, obviously. And then what you would have to decide is, okay, what am I doing at the center position? Is it Dunn? Is it Hance? Is it Nick Harris? And at this point, I don't know. I think we'll have a better idea. Is anybody talking today after this practice?
Coach and select players.
Okay, so we'll have a better idea from Coach
Yep.
coming out of this practice, because this is, by the way, folks, this is the practice of the week.
There's one practice this week.
There is one practice this week. And so we won't have information. And I believe they're on the field currently.
Yes.
So we won't have any information about that, even to give you scores or anything like that, until they get off of the field. And that has not happened yet. So, yeah, that's the situation on the line. Getting Delpit back is big. You still don't have Ronnie. You might not have John. So that means your safety's probably going to be Delpit and either MJ Stewart or Javante Moffitt. But my guess is, because Newsom's on the COVID protocol list now, you're going to need MJ at nickel. So probably your nickel is going to look like Greedy, Denzel, MJ, with Grant and Javante Moffitt on the back end. And then up front, Miles is a question mark at this point. He didn't practice. I think at best he will. Right now, fingers crossed that he's listed as questionable. That's what I'm hoping for. Don't want to see out. That feels like some coal in my stocking, and I've been a good boy. So I don't want to see that. John, same thing, give me questionable, but afraid we might see out on both of those. And then, you're going to have pass rushing. Hopefully Clowney comes back, but he is not guaranteed to come back at all. It would be within a week. It would be fast.
I don't know what – the question is, what is his first day? Because there was –
the report of the positive test.
Report of a positive. Then there was a negative report.
It still isn't going to be 10 days.
No, they put him on Sunday.
Right. And I think maybe the first report we saw was either Friday or Saturday, but that's still not going to get him there. That's not going to cut the mustard. So he needs to come out early, like Tack McKinley did a week ago. Tack, we know, is out for the season. So you're talking about a defensive end room right now that could be potentially Porter Gustin, Joe Jackson, Ifeadi Odenigbo, if he comes off the COVID list, where he's still currently on it, and Curtis Weaver. We haven't seen him all year, the Weave. So
big moment for the Weaves.
It would be a huge moment. And then on the interior, we still haven't gotten Malik McDowell back. Malik Jackson's banged up. Sheldon Day's played great. You got to get a lot of Sheldon Day going. Elliott Togiai. Linebackers, you got Jacob Phillips back, so you feel a little bit better in that room. Although that room, you had Walker and you had JOK and Malcolm and Tok, and now you get Phillips back, so that adds somebody there.
The linebacker position is probably your strongest on the defense.
Yeah, right now it's certainly the closest to full. You don't have Mack or Fields at this point, but closest to full, and special teams might feel that. Offensively, you got your tight ends now. You have all three of them with the return of Austin Hooper. You still got Nick Chubb. Nick Mullins is going to have to take every single rep in practice.
So, and that is where the question lies. If guys aren't available till Saturday morning, can you trot them out knowing that no one's practiced in 2 weeks?
That's the question. That's the absolute question of it. And that's what I don't know the answer to. And I think that's what becomes a very, very intriguing, or I don't know if intriguing is the word. What the outcome is intriguing, but it becomes some type of a dilemma at some level, I would think, for the coaching staff, right? You've got to say, okay, are we going to play the guy that got the practices, or do we play, Baker coming off of COVID and who knows how he even, feels. He said he's felt fine all the time, but, that's being home and feeling fine is obviously very different than playing football. My guess is you put Baker in. I mean, he's your starting quarterback. If he's active, he's playing.
Yeah, I would think so.
And it's not like we've had 3 practices on a normal week. We've had a practice today.
Yeah. If anything, they should be well rested.
This is true. They should be quite well rested.
The other things that popped up late yesterday on the injury report, and it was a late injury report. Now, and yesterday was team did not practice. Participation is an estimate. It was like a walkthrough basically yesterday.
Yep.
2 guys end up on that list that I'm concerned about. Denzel Ward, groin, limited.
Yep.
David Njoku, knee, limited.
He's had that all year, so I'm less concerned with that on the Chiefs side. But yeah, you're exactly right to be concerned. Look, you're playing Devontae Adams. You're down Denzel Ward. I mean, all of a sudden you are in a huge, I think, issue. That would be, if we don't have Myles Garrett, that's going to be a massive issue. Obviously, he's our most disruptive player on defense. You take Denzel off field, I don't even want to talk about that as a possibility. Let's see what the result is today. When's coach talking today, time-wise?
Supposed to be around 2:00.
Okay.
So we'll see if we have that ready to go.
Yes.
The other, Greedy Williams might call in today. So
we'd love to talk to Greedy. I think we have so many questions that we can't even begin to have answers for, that
Correct.
Hopefully today we'll get some insight on that from our head coach.
And you will get answers, because today is technically like a Friday of a Sunday.
You're going to get the injury, and we're going to get the injury report.
Yeah, the final injury report.
I'm assuming while we're on the air. So, yeah, big one. And it's hard to say with these things that we talk about, guys coming back, and, it feels like, especially with this variant, people are not necessarily having any issues. Long term, we haven't seen the impacts, but you never know. Like, somebody could be 90%, not 100%, feel fine, but not even be really aware of what they're dealing with. So, a lot of news is going to be coming out during this program today, so we'll be sure to break all of that down for you. Plus, we're going to give a look at the matchups between the Browns and this very, very talented Green Bay Packers team. And so that's all coming your way here on the show. Hopefully we'll hear from the head coach. Hopefully we will hear from Greedy Williams as well. We're off and running here. It is Cleveland Browns Daily. It is, by the way, before I do that, though, I have to remind people, maybe for the holidays, maybe you're doing something crazy. Maybe you're dropping a house with a bow on it on somebody. If you're doing that, if you're buying or selling a home with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, it's always a winning strategy. If you plan to make a move this season, we've got you covered, because at Howard Hanna, every day is game day. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBrowns today. All right, we'll be back with more Cleveland Browns Daily here on ESPN Cleveland. Fans can win big with the digital scratch-off game brought to you by the Ohio Lottery on clevelandbrowns.com and Browns social channels. Fans can play once per day throughout the season by digitally scratching off a virtual card for chances to win great prizes like Team Shop gift cards and tickets to future games. For more information, log on to promotions.clevelandbrowns.com. All right, we bring Gibby in. Time to go around the league. We'll start with some news. Holy moly. Saints placed their top 2 quarterbacks on the COVID list. Rookie Ian Book set to start in a must-win game Monday night against a very good Dolphins defense.
No pressure, kid. We're all counting on you.
Ian Book. Great name. Not as good as Blood McNally. And I also don't think he's going to end up in the Hall of Fame, unlike Blood McNally,
Unless
who
he
did.
has a Hall of Fame performance, I think the Saints will be going home.
Yeah.
Playing out the string.
Ian Book from Notre Dame, by the way, 4th-round draft pick of the Saints this season. And that's where he's going to go. In his last year at Notre Dame, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks. Year before that, 34 touchdowns, 6 picks. And he's going to have to start against a very good Miami Dolphins defense. That is going to be a tall order for him. I always get curious with these kind of things. That's the Monday night game. Saints -3.5, it still says. That can't be right.
I mean, if that's the case.
You would think that's going to get changed to a Dolphins being favored. Listen, I'm not paying attention to the scores, but if I was, I might jump on that. I might jump on that Dolphins side right there.
Might be a big one there.
I imagine that they're aware, though. Interesting. Ian Book getting the start. That's going to be a fascinating one to watch on Monday night. Fantasy football. Winning Fantasy Football League this year, first of all, Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp are probably a must. One of those two, both of them would probably pretty much do it. But you just kind of had to get lucky, too, navigating COVID and having, for example, Ian Book's that's going to have an impact on Alvin Kamara. There's a lot that there's still guys, certainly a lot of people still going to the COVID list, a lot of self-reporting, clearly, of the symptoms and people, making sure for the holidays that they know their current status. And for the Saints, they do not have a quarterback. And remember, their top 2 quarterbacks are out, but their actual top quarterback was Jameis Winston. So they're onto that's their 4th string. 4. That's number 4. Ian Book starting for them. That would be like if we had to go to Kyle Lauletta at this juncture. Basically. Yeah. He played with us in the preseason. Book played with them in the preseason.
Yeah. Taylor Heineke.
Back.
Washington's QB is back. He is officially cleared as of 10 minutes ago. That's a big get for Washington.
That's massive for the Washington football team because they're still in the mix. In the NFC, if the Browns were in the NFC, they'd be in the mix. We're not. We're still only 1 game out. That's the craziest part about all this. First and last in our division are separated by a game.
If everybody lost and we won, 1 weekend, and the next 2.
We win this one. There's not everybody can lose because the Ravens and the Bengals play each other.
Correct.
But I think
Maybe they end in a tie.
We want the Bengals to win that game.
Yes.
Because then we get to beat them at the end of the year. All right. Tom Pelissero on NFL.com had NFL execs voting on postseason's awards. MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, MVP. 2-man race, Gibby, between Aaron Rodgers, 11 votes, and Jonathan Taylor, 8 votes. So you
didn't win.
You would have gotten 0. So he is somewhat closer to it than you. Although I'd have given you a vote, Gibby. I love you.
My vote's going to Jonathan Taylor.
Well, 9. Mine too. 10. Gibby, you could make it a tie right now.
Aaron Rodgers.
Of course. Of course he did. That's you know what that is? That's jealousy.
I don't know.
You're like,
if you take Aaron Rodgers off the Packers, what are they?
I mean, you saw when they scored 1 point against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
when Jordan Love had to make the start, they weren't feeling the love in that one. They've only lost twice with Aaron Rodgers this year, by the way. They're 11-2 with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I mean,
but you take Jonathan Taylor off of this Colts team, who knows where they are either. He's been pretty good. It's just like it's the Derrick Henry argument. Look at what the Titans are without Derrick Henry. Not good.
But it's not like the Colts. Okay, but
philosophically,
I'm killing my own
I
arguments
100%
here.
agree with you.
But
Quarterbacks are the most important players in the league.
Yeah, the Colts are 8-6. It's not like the Colts have 10 wins.
No.
They've had a resurgence because of Jonathan Taylor. There's no question about that. But they're still they're a little bit over 500.
I hear you. All right, here's what they say. I'd love to say he's not the guy because he's easy to root against, but effing Aaron Rodgers, man, he's amazing. That's what one of the executives, NFC executives, said. He's played with a fractured pinky toe the past 2 months. He leads all qualified passers this season in win percentage, touchdown interception ratio 30-4, passer rating 110. The last quarterback to lead all three categories was Aaron Rodgers back in 2011 when he won the first of his 3 MVP awards. A fourth this year would make him the first repeat MVP since Peyton Manning in 2008 and 2009. Another NFC exec named Jason Gibbs says, I don't think they're the same team without him. They've got a good defense and everything, but Rodgers makes them who they are. The Packers 11-3, Colts now 8-6. They started 1-4 though, Gibby, so they're 7-2 the last 9. Taylor on the short list of backs who can run with power and strength, but also have huge plays. On pace to eclipse 1,800 rushing yards and 20 touchdowns. Thresholds crossed by the only 3 running backs in NFL history, and they all won the MVP the year they accomplished that feat. Terrell Davis in 1998, Sean Alexander in 2005. I still have a fantasy championship thanks to him in that season. And LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006. Said an AFC executive, he's taken the team on his shoulders, which is hard for a runner to do, and he's taken over games. Most of their big games, he has taken over.
Do they have to make the playoffs for him to even be to have a shot at it?
Yeah. Yes. I agree with that. Bucks quarterback Tom Brady 2 votes. Justin Herbert 1 vote. Rams receiver Cooper Kupp.
Kupp got 1 vote.
1 vote. I know he's been pretty darn good.
Pretty good.
Defensive player of the year.
Garbage right here.
8 votes. TJ Watt won the race. Runner-up Micah Parsons.
How about that?
Watt leads the NFL in sacks, quarterback hits, and sack rate, despite playing in just 12 games this season, missing 1 because of a groin injury and another due to hip and knee ailments. Also missed half of a Week 14 game against the Vikings. Only Pro Football Hall of Famer Reggie White ever averaged more sacks per game in a season, 1.75 that year. Watt's at 1.46, who still has a shot to take down Michael Strahan's single-season sack record of 22.5 and can impact the game in other ways, too. Said an NFC executive, he can rush the passer, he can drop, he does a lot of multiple things for their Ds, not just a pass rusher only. An AFC exec said he's not the most gifted dude, but he's relentless. Others receiving votes. Trayvon Diggs, the corner of the Cowboys, 3. Myles Garrett, 3. Joey Bosa, 2. Aaron Donald, 1. Robert Quinn, 1. Jalen Ramsey, 1.
How does Myles Garrett only get 1 vote?
He got 3.
Or I'm sorry, 3. How does he only get 3 votes?
I think it's probably because there might be people, and look, TJ Watt is really, really good, but he does lead the league in sacks and quarterback hits and sack rate, and he's missed games.
But he's missed games.
And still, yet.
Your best ability is your availability.
He still leads the league in sacks.
They're a 500 team.
This is true. So are we.
So are we.
So are we, Gibbe.
So are we.
Actually, they're better than 500. They're 7-6-1.
Oh, yeah, because the gutless Titans.
They beat the gutless Titans. They tied the Leons.
Gutless
Myles, look, if Myles is able to play, and that's unfortunately something we don't know right now, right? We don't know about Myles' availability. But if Myles is able to play and then leads us in this 3-game stretch with an absolute, set of dominant performances, then I believe he will win the Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, look, the touchdown he had, massive for us 2 weeks ago to beat the Ravens. Massive. He's certainly our MVP, and he's right there. I think a couple games could certainly push him over the top there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I can't believe that it was even this close. Mac Jones, 11 votes. Jamar Chase, 9. Now, Chase was really, really good, but he's kind of slowed as the year has gone on. Still, he leads all rookies with 1,038 yards, 10 receiving touchdowns. Only 3 of the rookies in the Super Bowl era have had 60 catches, 1,000 yards, and 10 receiving touchdowns. Randy Moss, Odell Beckham Jr. both won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Chase would be the 3rd, so you could say there's precedent there. You talk about Mac Jones, 69% completions, highest by a rookie in NFL history, beating Dak Prescott, 67.8, Herbert, 66.6, and Ben, 66.4 back in 2004, which is remarkable. All 3 of them won the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is helped the Patriots to a 9-5 record. All other rookie quarterbacks combined. This would have been an unbelievable wager that if you could have made Mac Jones's wins against the wins of every other rookie quarterback combined. He's 9-5. The rest of them are 7-36.
That's crazy.
7-36. Defensive Rookie of the Year, unanimous. Runaway, Micah Parsons. I mean,
how about Coach of the Year and Front Office Exec of the Year? Both go to Belichick.
Belichick. Not even one for Andrew Berry. I think what he's done with our defense is noteworthy. I really do. But it's tough when your team was expected to be more than we are, and there are 5 games that could have flipped easily, and we could be very, very, very good. We did not win any of those 5, unfortunately, and so here we sit at 7-7. No, we need to go to Green Bay and make a major statement and pull off what is an upset. Not to us, we believe, but it is an upset to certainly the people in Vegas. All right, when we come back here, Rob Domofsky, ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter, joins us. And don't forget, you could score Cleveland Browns season tickets from Sugardale in your local Meijer, plus the chance to kick a field goal. Again, I want to MC this to score 10 seasons worth of season tickets during a Brown game. Text Browns to 55678 to enter. That's Browns to 55678. Rules and regulations apply. Rob Domofsky behind enemy lines next. Rumpke Waste and Recycling is a family-owned and operated company. Whether you join them as a customer or as an employee, you'll become part of the family. Visit www.rumpke.com to learn more. We go behind enemy lines and welcome in on the hotline Rob Domofsky, the ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter. And Rob, this is a darn good football team. I'm reading through the dope sheet, as they like to call it, and you just find factoid after factoid that don't give us Browns fans a whole lot of optimism. What's making this Packers team here in 2021 so darn good?
Well, I mean, as everybody knows, it starts with the quarterback, and if they don't have Aaron Rodgers, they're certainly not sitting in the position they're in right now, but their defense is better. I hesitate to say that it's legit yet because we've been teased by this defense before, and then come, playoff time, specifically NFC Championship time, last couple of years, it has crumbled. But they've done what they've done, I think, is better than anybody could have predicted, is weather the injury bug. And it's, look, I know everybody has injuries, right?
Yep.
Like I get it. But this is a team that has not had its best pass rusher,
Yep,
its best cornerback, and most recently its best defensive lineman. Now, the defensive lineman, Kenny Clark, is back this week. But when you're talking about Jair Alexander, cornerback, Pro Bowler,
Yep.
second-team All-Pro, who hasn't played since Week 4, and Zadarius Smith, outside linebacker, Pro Bowler, second-team All-Pro last year, hasn't played since Week 1. Then you flip over to the other side of the ball. You've got your All-Pro left tackle, David Bakhtiari. He hasn't played a snap this year. He's coming up on the one-year anniversary of his torn ACL, and he's not back.
Yep.
The guy that they had replace him was Pro Bowl guard Elton Jenkins. He played great for about 8 or 9 weeks at left tackle. He blew out his knee. They're playing with a left tackle that before this season had played 14 snaps in the NFL, and half of them were kneel downs. So, like, all this stuff that they've done together, to me, is a credit to the coaching staff, the personnel department for finding some key pieces. A couple guys on defense, Rasul Douglas, who was on Arizona's practice squad and has basically become one of their best guys. Devondre Campbell, inside linebacker, who was unemployed in June and came in here and is one of their biggest impact players in the middle of their defense. Like, they've just done an amazing job with all that, putting it all together.
Yeah, and you can also add Robert Tonyan, who was Big Bob Tonyan, was great for them last year, a touchdown machine.
11 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone. Yeah, it's a great point.
And they've been incredible. I was kind of going through one of these things, and I'll get to that in a second, but I want to go back to Aaron Rodgers because you mentioned it, right? Without Aaron Rodgers, they're not the same.
Yeah.
Look, in the last 3 seasons, 11 times has a team started the year 11-3 or better. 3 of those are the Packers. In fact, all 3 of the last seasons. So where does this come from as somebody who's on the outside, far away, far removed, that they want to break this up, or that Aaron wants to break it up, or that something's not working? It's working. It's
Aaron. If anybody wants to break it up, it's Aaron, and we obviously heard that all.
Sure, off-season,
Yeah, well, he wasn't happy with some of the direction of the organization, and look, it all started with the drafting of Jordan Love, but which just kind of then made him look at things completely differently, and the fact that maybe he doesn't have control over the end of his career, because up to that point he would have told you, I want to finish my career here, and now he feels like maybe, or he felt like maybe he was slighted a little bit, and I get that. But I also get the Packers' perspective on, the GM is relatively new, Brian Gutekunst, and his job ultimately is to make sure, or try to make sure, that they have another quarterback to continue this incredible run of 30 years of Favre and Rodgers. And so if he thought Jordan Love was that guy, then you take him. But look, I don't know what's going to happen after this year. I'm not sure anybody does, but the way that he's playing and the way that he, I'm sure, will continue to play, they would love to have him back, regardless of what happens this year.
All right, would you handicap it for me? It's more than likely. So 50% is the threshold. More than 50% that he'll be a Packer in your mind in 2022?
I am so bad at this because I will tell you this on ESPN radio about a week or two after the story, came out, the initial story about his unhappiness came out, I said, I was asked that exact question, but pertaining to what are the chances he plays for the Packers this season.
Yeah.
And I said I thought there was less than a 5% chance. And it was a prediction. It was wrong. People have never let me forget it. But I do get the sense that things have gone as well, if not better than expected. Rodgers has actually gone out of his way to praise the front office for the moves that they've made this year, and even some of the moves that they weren't able to make but were at least in on. So like Odell Beckham Jr. and Stephon Gilmore, guys they didn't land but were trying to. So I would say this, that right up until the whole COVID thing, everything was going, perfectly well. And I don't, obviously Rodgers took a huge public relations hit for that.
Sure.
But I don't know that there was anything with the team. And if anything, the team helped protect him in terms of, I guess if you want to say keeping his secrets that he was not vaccinated. So, all that said, I do know that, the people in this building, I'm sitting in Lambeau Field right now, people in this building do walk on eggshells around him and, want to try to not do anything to upset it. So it's a tenuous situation still today.
It is. It's wild. And what is how does it play in Green Bay? I think so many people appreciate, whether you agree with what he says or not, the candor that he displays on a weekly basis when he goes on the McAfee show. You don't get that anywhere else in the NFL. It is a one of one.
Yeah, and I would say this, like you go back to his very first press conference when he came back this summer, he didn't dodge any of the reports of his unhappiness. He basically aired all of his grievances, went through all the guys that
it is Festivus today.
Yeah, you're right, it is. And he went down the list and said, I was mad we didn't bring Charles Woodson back. I was mad we let Jordy Nelson go, and so on and so on. And you could argue whether whether the Aaron Rodgers general manager moves would have been, better than what the Packers general manager did, but the fact that he owned it and said, these are a lot of things that I had a lot of problems with, and we're going to try to work through them, and that's why I'm back. I think that went at least a long way toward, at least being like, hey, look, I'm being honest here. And because in the past he has and still does like to use kind of cryptic language and make you read between the lines, just like he did when he said, I am immunized. He was obviously, playing with words there.
Sure.
But I do think that there was a segment of the population in Green Bay that this spring said, you know what, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be here, so be it. We don't want him. Okay.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
I mean, it was a decently stronger than I thought group. I'm not saying it was half, but it was a bigger group than I thought that had that feeling. Now, some of those same people are the same ones that are in the stands going crazy when Rodgers is throwing, touchdown pass after touchdown pass. And, I just think that he has smoothed over some of that. Now, he may have alienated another group of people with his, vaccination, non-vaccination issue.
Sure.
And there's definitely some of that as well. But ultimately, you guys know, if somebody wins and wins big and leads their team to places like, that they want to go here, there's a lot can be forgiven.
Yeah. There most certainly is a lot that can be forgiven. Winning, as they say, cures all. And guess what? He's very good at that. In fact, the good folks of Green Bay, Wisconsin have not seen a Packers loss at home in 11 straight regular season games, which is the longest active streak in the NFL. So they've done that.
Yeah, but they remember that NFC Championship game last year.
Yes, I know. The end of the first half. They remember the end of the first half stings to this day.
Yeah, that one, that streak sounds all well and good, but when nobody ever includes playoffs in these streaks, and that's a big one that just that hurts here.
It certainly did, and it ended up with our former head coach of our organization losing his job as the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay organization at that game.
And I'm not so sure that Mike Pettin didn't want to. That it was maybe Mike Pettin also not wanting to be here after the way Matt LaFleur kind of threw him under the bus a little bit, after that game. But that's a whole other show. We could talk about that.
Not
for
the
hours.
most amicable of splits at the time that it went down, clearly.
Right.
All right, so if we're on a Brown show, we've talked obviously about the Packers, how good they are. We're still in turmoil. Our starting quarterback, still is on the COVID-19 list. Our head coach just came back this week. We're at 7-7. It's a must-win. What would you say to us? Because I've watched the games, and Minnesota's a similar offense, and obviously they put up a lot with Kirk Cousins. You've seen Fields and Huntley be able to kind of run against this team, but we don't have a mobile quarterback. So what's really the path to victory for the Browns, or what are the weaknesses that you can attempt to attack if you are the Browns?
It's a great question, and it's funny that you mentioned the running and the mobile quarterbacks, because their defensive line coach, Jerry Montgomery, said yesterday that it's kind of nice. Yeah, we know we're playing a really good running team, but it's kind of nice that we only really have to worry about the running backs and not the running quarterback. But I will tell you this, that while their defense has made major improvements, and most of it, in the past game, their run defense has been shaky, and possibly, I don't want to say by design, because no one wants to be a shaky run defense, but they do not and have not committed a lot of guys to the box. They have not stacked the box to stop the run. Now, will they against Nick Chubb and these guys? They better, because here's a stat from ESPN Stats and Information, that Nick Chubb often is one of the best at running against what they call a stacked box, which means 8 or more defenders. He averages 5.5 yards a run when people don't put extra defenders in the box. So you better put extra defenders in there. Otherwise, he's going to take massively advantage of that. And the Packers typically don't do that. So it'll be interesting to see whether they change that strategy and actually try to do that. But the Packers have not historically this season done it, and teams that have not have paid the price against Nick Chubb.
You are right, and that has been, I'll tell you, from our side of it, that's what people have done. They have stacked the box and dared us to throw the football, and we've struggled to do that. Our defense actually has been rather elite of late, and
and that's the other thing too. We talked about the issues that the Packers have had at left tackle, right? With Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins and the kid Yash Nyman, number 73. People look for him. He's actually done a heck of a job, but he is an undrafted free agent who had really never played before. And now, to go against Garrett and, the guys that you guys have over there, I mean, that's another area that you better watch out for. I will say this, when they have played guys like that, they played Bosa, San Francisco, they played Von Miller and Aaron Donald with the Rams. What the Packers have typically done is try to get the ball out quick.
Yep.
And Rodgers is very good at that. Now, Rodgers also likes to extend plays, and that's where maybe you can get into trouble against a defense like what the Browns have.
We need to hope we'll get an injury report later today. I hope Myles Garrett is good. We need Clowney back off the COVID list. We've been pretty ravaged over here with the COVID list the last couple of weeks, the Cleveland Browns, but this is a big one, and frankly, for the Browns, there's no other outcome that allows them to do what they want to do this season than finding a way to be the first team to hand this Packers team a loss in a regular season game. Maybe they got to do what the Bucs did in that playoff game at Lambeau Field. Rob, this was a great pleasure. Thanks so much. Happy holidays to you and your family.
Always good to talk to you guys. We'll be seeing you.
All right. Take care. When we come back here, we are wrapping up hour number 1 here on Cleveland Browns Daily. Again, looking at these Packers and the Browns. We'll take a look at the Browns offense against the Packers defense after this. All right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. We are awaiting the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. The Browns have wrapped up their one practice of the week, and now they are getting ready really to let us know, kind of peek behind the curtain, what's going on here with this football team. We should get the injury report while we are here on the air today as well, as the Browns get ready to take on a Green Bay Packers team. And we were just talking with Rob Domofsky as we look at the matchup between the Browns offense and this Green Bay defense. And frankly, it's a Green Bay defense that's done a good job taking the football away from people. It's done a good job scoring when they do. Rasul Douglas already has 2 interception returns for touchdowns this year. They can get after the quarterback. He mentioned Kenny Clark is back. Clark, who's missed some time this year, he's got 4 sacks on the season. Rashawn Gary, the former Michigan product, 6.5, 7 for Preston Smith. And as he said, they've been doing it without their 2 best defensive players, Zadarius Smith and Jair Alexander, basically for the whole season. And you've got Adrian Amos, got a good, and Darnell Savage, a couple of good safeties there. Devondre Campbell has 124 tackles on the season, 5 tackles for a loss. He's just been a monster for them. A couple of picks as well, linebacker. So this is a very talented defense. And so the Browns, we don't even know what this line's going to look like right now. You know, if we don't know who's playing center, J.C. Treader, the quarterback of your offensive line. We'll probably find that out from the coach, I would guess, sometime soon. But it's just wild, Gibbe.
We've got game status updates from the Browns from Nate Ulrich. So they're obviously giving them that heads up right now. Coach should be coming in just a second. Officially questionable, Myles Garrett, Malik Jackson. Out, John Johnson III.
Okay.
You're saying there's a chance, kids.
So you're saying that there's a chance on Myles Garrett, but John Johnson is out. Now, the good news is Grant Delpit is back. Hopefully you'll get Ronnie Harrison back as well. But even if you do not, you still have Grant back there with Javonte Moffitt, MJ Stewart. And so I guess you could say that you feel pretty good about that in one sense, that you have, at least Grant is back, so you've got one of those safeties. But far from an ideal situation, I think, here, if you are the Cleveland Browns at this juncture, to be without John Johnson. Now, Myles questionable, we'll take it. That's what I said, we'll take it. We just didn't want to see out, so we'll take it. But still, not great against an offense that's as good as this one, and we'll get to that matchup later on. For the Browns, though, let's hear from the head coach, Kevin Stefanski, right now.
Okay. All right, excited for the challenge, going on the road, Christmas Day, only show in town. All right, I think the guys are excited about it. Great opportunity for us. Just finished up a Friday practice for us, and we still have some finishing touches to put on it. So guys need to get recovery. Some guys need to run. Some guys need to meet extra with the coaches. So we're still working towards that, but certainly excited to go on the road, in Lambeau Field, playing a really good football team. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start with Tom Withers.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Kevin, just another day. JC, is there any chance of him playing, or do you have to rule him out at this point?
Well, I guess you just went on the list, so I don't know if I'd rule him out, but he's in the protocols.
Okay, and then in terms of your offensive line, can you tell us how that will be reconfigured at this point with James coming back and with some other changes?
Yeah, going to work through it, Tom. Like you mentioned, James Hudson comes back, so he will be available to us. See how Jed does when he comes off the list, potentially. Nick Harris obviously has to be ready to go if JC can't go. So moving parts, but that's the name of the game.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Jay Trotter.
Yeah, hey, Kevin. Baker wasn't at practice, at least the portion we saw, still on the COVID list. So is the plan still to start him Saturday, number one? And then number two, if he gets activated tomorrow, he would fly with you all. If he doesn't, you're going to arrange other travel plans like you had said earlier this week.
Yeah, so, obviously, like we've said, day to day, taking this day by day. So tomorrow we'll see if he tests out and he's available to be with us tomorrow. If not, we'll take it obviously to Saturday. If he's healthy as he's been and he's cleared and he's ready to go, then I anticipate him playing.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jake. Cam Justice, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, as you guys head into these tough matchups Saturday specifically, and then you've got those divisional games to follow, and you've gone back now and watched the tape from Monday, have you been able to identify any areas that, can help you in terms of closing out games that are maybe down to the wire? And how do you fit those adjustments into your game plan?
Yeah, Cam, it's a good question. We have to close out those games. So many of these games in the NFL are like that. They're one-score games, and we got to finish in those moments. And really, you never know what play is going to affect it. So as important as it is to finish in the fourth quarter, you really have to be great for 60 minutes, and then that starts from the jump. So there are certainly some things that we want to do better offensively, defensively, special teams, schematically, things that we can do in those moments to go close out a game.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cam. Nate Ulrich is next.
Kevin, if you don't get Baker back until Saturday and you haven't had any practices with him, are you going to have to get creative? I mean, you have a 4:30 kickoff. Can you do some sort of, you did a parking garage walkthrough last year. Are you going to have to do something like that with the quarterback coming back in the fold?
Yeah, we will have a walkthrough on game day. That's something that we typically do on a late afternoon start like this. And that is the benefit, certainly, in if we're able to get Baker back like we anticipate, if not tomorrow. On game day, we'll certainly do that, Nate. And I just think there are moving parts throughout this. And with Baker and with any of the players, when you don't practice, you also have to understand that those players have banked many, many reps. So with the quarterback, we have plays and concepts and things in that we have many, many reps on, going back to training camp, going back to last year, et cetera, with the players that will be in there.
Okay. And in terms of Myles Garrett, you got the status report update that he's questionable. How are you feeling about him overall? How are you viewing his chance to play? And did he do anything in practice when we were out there? We just kind of saw him walk out and stand on the side.
Yeah, he did not do anything at practice today. I would say he's 50-50. He hasn't done anything all week, so we need to see how he progresses over the next few days here. Obviously, he's very confident and he wants to play very badly. But we'll see how it goes over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Nate. Marlon Ridenauer, you're up.
Yeah, Kevin, one more quick thing on Myles. I assume that sounds like a game time decision.
I'm telling you, Marla, we're just going to take in all the information over the next couple of days. So I wouldn't say necessarily that it's going to be a workout type thing and true, up to the 90-minute, but I just want to make sure that we continue to take in information over the next couple of days.
And Nick Harris doesn't have a snap on offense this year. I mean, have you seen any growth just, in his understanding of the game or just in any regard?
Yeah, without a doubt. And, he did play a little bit for us last season. So there is some experience there for him playing some guard. But he works very, very hard. He's had a good season just in terms of what we've been working with him. I do see growth from him. He's a young player, but I do see him getting better.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marlon. Mary Kay Cabot, you're next.
Yeah, Kevin, with John Johnson being ruled out today and Greg already being with his concussion and COVID and all that kind of stuff, Troy still on the list. Can you just address, the secondary situation and how you feel going into this Packers game with Aaron Rodgers and kind of a shorthanded a little bit, the secondary?
Yeah, like you mentioned, Mary Kay will be without a few guys. But again, that's what you have depth for. That's why you practice. That's why those guys, take their job so seriously and prepare. So we'll maybe count on some guys to step up. And again, that's really what we've done all season long.
Do you have any thoughts yet on Case Keenum and what his availability might possibly be?
Yeah, I don't know. See if he can test out here. But we'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Darryl Ryder, you're up.
Hey, Kevin, I think we get all the injury stuff covered here. So let me ask you about the tight ends. They're so important within your offensive system. And I realize Pittsburgh and Baltimore, they do different things offensively. But one of the things I guess that stood out to me is, Freiermuth and Andrews, they have more touchdowns than your tight end group as a collective. And so I guess my question is, how do you get increase scoring production out of a position that's just seems to be so important to what you want to do fundamentally?
Yeah, I think, Daryl, we do want production from the tight end room. We want production, period. We'll take the points any which way we can get them. If Dave had smaller feet, he would have had a touchdown the other night, would add that to the list. But, in seriousness, those guys do a great job. They're such a big part of what we do. Think about Hoop in that game at home where he's playing every play, and then Dave's playing a ton of plays, and Harrison's coming back off that injury. So they've each come up big for us in different moments. And I think the production in the red zone or production period when it comes to touchdowns is something that we're looking for as an offense, less so from a specific position.
And these last couple of games, obviously because of Nick Chubb and how good he really is, teams really seem to be committing to try and neutralize him. So I guess my question to you, and I know you're not going to give away the game plan here, but have you had conversations internally about maybe switching some things up to get Nick going again and try and counter maybe what some of these teams are doing against him and your offense here?
Yeah, those are all things we talk about, Daryl. Certainly, I would just tell you, not specific to Nick, but the run game in the last however many games hasn't been as efficient or as explosive as it was early. It's never one thing. It's never one player or one scheme or those type of things. So we just got to do our job as coaches and putting these guys in position to succeed. We know that teams, and this goes back to game one as well, they're going to commit to trying to stop the run. And we have opportunities to still run the ball by scheme. Absolutely. But there are also opportunities in the pass game. We just got to make sure that we, again, as coaches, put the guys in position to succeed, whether you're running or throwing.
Thanks.
Thanks, Daryl. We'll go to Scott Patrick.
Hey, Kevin. You mentioned Jedrick. Jarvis, and Malik McDowell, I would think, are supposed to come off tomorrow. Are you confident they all come off tomorrow?
Yes, I'm confident they come off tomorrow.
And that they will, that they're all asymptomatic and should be back?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come off it's day 10, so they'll come off the COVID list.
Okay. And then with JC, I mean, he's played every snap since he got here in 2017. So just how hard is it to replace a guy like that, especially a guy in charge of, the line and calling out protections and everything?
I haven't had a chance to talk to JC yet. That news kind of got to me as I was going out in the field. So ultimately, any of our guys that are unavailable, I'm very disappointed for them. And like we've talked about, whether it's an injury or COVID, JC is a big part of what we do. He obviously playing that center position. You're in the thick of it. You're making calls. You're doing so much from a mental aspect of working with the quarterback. So he's somebody that you don't just replace. But I think Nick Harris is definitely up to the task, and I think we have a bunch of smart guys along that front to help him.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. We'll take two more. Jake Trotter, Nate Orr. Jake?
Kevin, apologies for another logistics question here. So on the 15th, the two starters that went on the COVID list were Baker and Malik. Is Malik in the same boat as Baker in terms of maybe he has to travel on his own? Or he can go with the team if he clears out? Because the guys you were talking about were all on December 14th, so they would be automatically with you tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So would Malik and Baker travel together if they're in the same boat to get to Green Bay?
Yeah, I mean, Jake, it's all so fluid. Think about some guys may test out on Saturday morning that you weren't anticipating having. So you may have more than one person heading to Green Bay.
So do you have a plane like on standby Saturday morning?
I don't, no.
The Browns, I mean.
Oh, yes, I think we will.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Jake. And we'll close with Nate Orr.
Kevin, I'm sorry if I missed this earlier, but John Johnson III being ruled out, what's the outlook at safety? You're getting Grant back today, and you had two guys in MJ Stewart and Moffitt, who played a lot. So would you lean on those three? You still think Ronnie Harrison can come back? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, fluid. Yes, Ronnie could come back. Very happy to get Grant back, and we'll determine in what capacity, again, based on how he's doing, how he's feeling, those type of things. But feel confident that with Grant, with MJ, with Javonte Moffitt, Richard LeCount, feel like we have guys back there that we can count on.
And we haven't heard anything about your 2 assistant coaches who also tested positive. What's the state of the coaching staff as it relates to COVID?
Yeah, Ryan Cordell is with us. He tested out same day as me, and then we're just still waiting on TC.
Thank you, Nate. Coach, that's it for today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
You're up.
All right, that's the head coach here, Cleveland Browns. There, Myles Garrett, 50-50, he says, and it looks like Baker Mayfield will join the team hopefully tomorrow, if not Saturday, and will start for the Cleveland Browns against the Green Bay Packers there. Probably the big stuff from Kevin Stefanski. Nick Harris, one of the questions we had earlier, who would play center. It sounds like Nick Harris will be the Browns center against the Green Bay Packers, filling in for J.C. Tretter. Gambling without setting limits on how much you're going to wager or how long you'll play is like a football team going into game without a game plan. It's probably going to end up in a loss. So always set limits before you bet. Get more tips like this at keepitfunohio.com. All right, we'll be back taking a look at the Packers offense against our defense. We've got keys to victory and then the return of the scores. Clean Browns Daily, ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, get into First Energy Stadium quicker on game day with Express Access. Enroll for free today to enter through exclusive lanes at each entrance. Plus, use Express Access for a chance to win a signed Myles Garrett jersey and other prizes at the end of the season. Click on the Tickets tab in the Browns mobile app to learn more. All right, talking about the Browns' defense against the Packers' offense, well, they're pretty darn good. They've got Aaron Rodgers, 30 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season. He has been dynamic for this football team all year long. They've got Davante Adams, one of the best receivers in the league. They have a two-headed running back monster in A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, who are both elite players, over 4 yards a carry. Both can run it. Both can catch it. Jones, the 4 touchdowns on the season out of the backfield, the most for a Packers player. Since you know the answer, Blood, Johnny Blood. Back in 1931 when he had 11 of them. So this is a difficult matchup, obviously, for the Cleveland Browns. This is a very good offense. They take great care of the football. They protect the quarterback at a high level, even though they have done so thus far with, a makeshift offensive line. No David Bakhtiari. Jenkins goes out halfway through the season. And so this is a team that has been very, very good despite having that, what you would have to call turmoil on the offensive side in terms of the offensive line. And so they've done a very, very good job protecting Aaron Rodgers, keeping him upright. And it's not a lot of names that you know. You guys all knew the big names, right? You all knew, about Bakhtiari, Jenkins, and those guys. But this is a team that has been able to kind of get through those injuries, and part of it's because Aaron Rodgers knows how to get rid of the football very, very quickly and very, very effectively. And when you're able to do that, you take a lot of pressure off of your defense. And this is a game where we really hope that we have, because we're going to need him, that we've got Myles Garrett, because we need somebody to try and go ahead and disrupt Aaron Rodgers and his rhythm that he's got, which is, quite frankly, a good one. They're averaging over 30 points a game. The last 4, they are the highest scoring offense in the NFL since week number 11. And so when that's the case, you got to be at your very best. They don't turn the football over either. Here's a crazy thing. 26 times in the last 3 seasons, so the start of the 2019 season, they've had a clean sheet, not a single giveaway. Now, the Browns have taken the football away multiple times in 4 straight and 5 of the last 6. Pack averaging 35.8 points a game, by the way, the last 5, 412.8 total yards per game, and they have 1 giveaway during that span. Best in the NFL. So the Browns are going to have a monster game. If they're given any opportunities, they're going to have to take advantage of them. They're not probably going to be given very many opportunities. That's not what this team does. And, we've got Marquez Valdes-Scantling on the COVID list for them right now. So you're looking at a team that's going to start Aaron Jones. It's going to be Rodgers, Jones, and Dillon in the backfield. And then at receiver, Davante Adams and probably Allen Lazard will be your primary receivers. Valdes-Scantling could be back in time there. Cobb is out as well. He's injured. So Equanimeous St. Brown, Amari Rodgers, the rookie, those are other receivers that could be in the mix for them. But this is who they've started on their offensive line. And amazingly, it's done a pretty darn good job. Josh Nijman, Josh Neiman, I'm guessing is what his name is. The undrafted free agent. He plays left tackle. He's given up 13 pressures, 3 sacks in his 7 games. Last week, you had John Runyon, the veteran, at left guard. Then it's center. It's Lucas Patrick, who's had a pretty nice season, hasn't given up a sack all year. Your right guard is Newman, Royce Newman, a rookie, and he has struggled this year. He's given up 6 sacks, team high, 26 pressures. Royce Newman, a 4th-round pick for them out of Mississippi. He's played better of late, only 1 sack in the last 5 weeks after he gave up 5 in the first 9 weeks. But that's an interior pass rush. Who's going to bring that for the Browns? Maybe that's where Sheldon Day gets a little advantage. But that's a look at this team on the offensive side of the ball. Now, keys to victory, because we got to do those, obviously, and they are presented by CDW. CDW's preferred technology partner of the Cleveland Browns. CDW, people who get it. Number 1, you have got to take care of the football. They are 29-0 when they win the turnover battle under Matt LaFleur. And so you can say, well, Nathan, what if we give it away one time and we take it away, twice, and we still have a positive turnover differential? Well, they are 20-1 when having 2 or more takeaways in a game are the Green Bay Packers. they're 29-1 when they just have one takeaway in a game under LaFleur. So you've got to have a clean sheet to have a chance. In those games that they're 29-0, where they win the turnover battle, 59 takeaways and only giving it away 9 times. 59 takeaways, only given away 9 times, turnover differential of plus 50, and they have an average win by 2 touchdowns in games when they win the turnover battle. They win by 2 touchdowns. So you had best not turn the football over against this team. Oh, I'm sorry. They're 33-1 when forcing at least 1 turnover. I said 29-1. How silly of me. They're 33-1 when they force 1 turnover. So we cannot turn the football over, period. We have got to try to take the football away from them. That is really one of the only things that you can possibly hope for. You got to try to take the football away from them. Easier said than done. They don't give the football away. They're second in turnover differential for the season. But like I said, we've done it 4 straight games. Then you're going to have to score points. This team right now is averaging 35.8. 35.8 points a game in the last 4. We haven't been to the 30s in those many years. So we're going to have to really come out and take care of that business very, very quickly. So we're going to have to score the football. And the third part of it is we're going to have to score the football fast. Fast. Why? Well, when the Packers lead at half or are tied at half, they're 9-0. When the Packers lead after 3 quarters, they're 11-0. When the Packers trail after 3 quarters, they're 0-3. That's the only one. They have these fun things we get to go through and look at. Record when. They're all really good, except that one. After the 3rd quarter, that's the only one, and they trailed half. They're 2-3 when trailing at halftime. It's imperative that the Cleveland Browns get out to a good lead and take it into the half. You've got to start fast. So you can't turn the football over. Touchdowns, you got to keep converting in the red zone. We're 100% since week 11, best in the NFL. You cannot give it away at all. You got to try to take it away. And you must have the lead. They are closers, folks. They are closers. 11-0 when they lead after 3 quarters. That's like us a year ago. Last year, I think the Browns were something like that, 11-0 when they led after 3 quarters. And this year, we haven't been the good closers that we need to be. But we need in this game to get out to a lead. We need to do our best to disrupt Aaron Rodgers. We need to do our best offensively to score. I'm aggressive in this one. I'm emptying the kitchen sink. 4th and short, going for it. 7's not 3s. And right now, 3s aren't a given. So I'll take my chances. Going for some of those touchdowns. I think that is one of the keys of the game. No field goals, only touchdowns. We have got to find a way to get touchdowns and make sure that we can keep pace. Now, listen, it's got to be possible, right? Chicago Bears, 45-30 was that game. Rams, 36-28. Vikings, 34-31. Last 4 games, the opponents have scored 34-28, 30, and 30. So you're averaging 31 points a game. That's where we need to get. 31. I think we need to get into the 30s. I think that's an absolute key to victory in this one. The Browns, though, on the season, here's what we've done scoring-wise. 29, 31, 26. We were hot early. 42. And then 14, 17, 10, 16, 7, 13, 16, 24, and we had the 41 against the Bengals. This has got to be one of those high-scoring games for us. It's got to be. It's not easy. I'm not saying it is. It's not going to be easy. Baker hasn't practiced really in 2 weeks, and he's got to come out here and get the job done and all the pressure on him. But that's what it's got to be. Clean on offense. Take the football away on defense. You cannot lose the turnover battle. You must get out to a fast start. You must take the lead into half, get them nervous. You must take the lead into the 3rd quarter or into the 4th quarter. They're 0-3 without it, 11-0 with it. And then you have got to make sure you're putting points on the board, and that's kind of a function of all of the others. But you've got to make sure you are getting touchdown after touchdown. We've got to get into the 30s to try to beat this team. Now, if you look at their losses with Aaron Rodgers this year, 34-31 Vikings, 38-3 Saints. And one of the strangest games, looking back on it, the season opener, was absolutely bonkers. That one was 38-3. So the teams that have beaten them have scored 30-plus. The other one, throw that out. Kansas City game, you throw that one out. That game, that was Jordan Love. That's 13-7. That one doesn't count. To beat Aaron Rodgers this year, you've had to score 30 points. The winning teams have both scored in the 30s. That's what the Cleveland Browns are going to have to do.
The number is just, I don't know. Is there a number that's most impressive
about them
in all of this?
I mean, it's just like low key. I don't know if we're even really paying attention to just how good they've been the last years because of their lack of success in the postseason. I mean, if this was a team that had won one of those Super Bowls, you'd be like, these guys are just ridiculous year after year. I mean, they have the best record in the NFL since the start of the 2019 season. The numbers that I said, 33-1 when forcing one turnover. Yeah, that's number one in the NFL. 29 games with a positive turnover differential since the start of 2019, most in the NFL. Second for the most in Packers franchise history. 26-0 giveaway games from 2019 to 21 are the most in NFL history in a 3-season span. And guess what? They have more games in this season to do it. No, this is an impressive team. This is an impressive football team. And they know how to win, clearly. But so far, they have not shown the ability to come back. So I think that's really one of the things that you need to do. You need to show that you need to demonstrate that you can put the lead on them. This is a fast start game. It's a fast start game. I don't know what I would do with the coin toss here. On one hand, your defense has been better. You want to put them out there. Their offense is great. You don't want to find yourself in a 7-0 hole. But what you want to do is you want to go ahead and probably take the ball and go down and score. All right, one of the guys who's going to be tasked with slowing down this excellent Green Bay Packers passing attack, cornerback Greedy Williams joins us now on the hotline. Greedy, thanks for being with us, brother.
Yes, sir. How you doing? Pleasure to be on.
I'm doing well, Greedy. And Greedy, look, we know what the outcome was in that game. I don't want to talk about that. What I do want to talk about is, number one, the interception. Through your eyes, what happened on that play?
Just playing a little man coverage, and just stand on a high shoulder, and I seen my D line, get in the face of Carr, and he threw it up to me.
You've had a couple of picks this year on deep balls like that. I remember back in Minnesota when you started in that one, but he threw it to you. You look like Willie Mays out there tracking that with the basket catch. It looked so effortless. Like you were so calm while you were doing it and made, I thought, a very impressive catch.
Yes, sir. Man, it's just ball skills, man. Just working on ball skills every day. And
that's right.
It pays off, man, once that ball's in the air and I'm in a position to get to it.
You were, and honestly, the only bummer is that Hunter Renfrow, for some reason, just happened to be there after you caught it. You gave him a nice stiff arm for his troubles, but if he wasn't there, you guys had you might have still be running.
Yeah. I was thinking more situation when I caught the interception.
Yeah.
I just let the offense close it out. So I wasn't thinking just score. I was just get a few yards, just get down and let the offense come take over.
Get down. See, student of the game, smart football player. Our guest, Greedy Williams, right now. Greedy, what was it like that moment when you were on the bench? They show you on the big screen, on the Jumbotron. The place is absolutely bananas. It was bedlam. It was one of the coolest moments I've felt in my 9 seasons with this team at First Energy Stadium. What was that like for you?
It was amazing, man. Just knowing what I've been through and how hard I fought back to show what I can do here. And I think I put a lot of trust in the fans and the coaches and everyone just to believe in me to go out there and make plays and call whenever I'm called upon to filling big roles.
And you did. Most certainly you did. And I remember talking to you after that Minnesota game, and you said, you talked to your mom, and you realized what you learned from that, never to doubt myself again. And now you're out there in big moments, making big plays. And that's probably a scene that you may have envisioned, and you probably couldn't even have imagined it how it was in reality, that you envisioned in your head during your rehab and fighting all your way back to get to make a play like that. And the thing that makes me the saddest, and I said this on Tuesday in kind of my opening monologue, is, you guys didn't get the ending you deserved. What you did was incredible. What your whole defense did, MJ Stewart, Javante, all you guys on the back end stepping up with all of the injuries, with all of the COVID, with all of the adversity, stepping up and shutting down that Raiders team the way you guys did. Nick Mullins off the practice squad leads them on an 80-play, 14-play, 80-yard, 8-minute drive, converts 3 third downs, a 4th down. You deserve that, though. You guys as the team, for the work you put in, you deserve that outcome. The fans, everybody, it felt like it was just like they botched the ending in a Hollywood movie right there.
Right. It did feel like that, man. The energy was crazy. Man. They was there with us the whole night, and man, we wanted to pull it off for the fans, man. But luckily we came up short.
And it happens. And that one, I could tell how much that one hurt you guys. You guys go into the locker room, that one sucked, right? You got to turn the page, though. You're now on to Green Bay. How have you guys been able to kind of channel that hurt into positivity, positive energy, and determination for this Christmas Day game at Lambeau Field?
We just on a short week, so trying to get everything dialed in as quick as we can, and just study a lot, especially with a lot we're going through right now with the COVID thing. So we just dialed in, trying to get in the building as many times as we can, just to like I said, dialed in and do what we do best on Saturday.
What kind of challenges do Aaron Rodgers and certainly Davante Adams present? I mean, this is as good a duo as there is in the NFL. Rodgers, the 30 touchdowns, 4 picks on the season. They don't turn the football over, and yet we as a defense have taken it away multiple times in 4 straight games. But when you put on the tape and you see those two, what jumps out to you that makes them so effective?
Man, just the knowledge they have, man. Feel like they make great calls and can pass the ball very well. Aaron Rodgers, obviously on the MVP season. So, man, it's a great challenge for us, man. And we playing in front of the whole world, and it give us, a great opportunity, to show up.
It certainly does. All right, Grady, favorite Christmas or holiday memory, if you got one.
You said a favorite memory?
Yeah. Like if there's a favorite gift you remember getting or anything that stands out to you as young Greedy going through the holiday season here.
Yeah, for sure. Man, when I was like 9 years old, man, my dad had bought me a mini dirt bike, and man, I was in love with that thing, man. I think I rode it like I drove it like every day. So that's kind of one of my favorite Christmas memories, man, was my dirt bike.
Do you ever? I don't even know if you're even allowed as an NFL player, but if you were in the off season, do you still ride?
Not really. I'm a father now, so I be with my kids more, and
right.
Doing all those father things more than anything.
Would you want your kids on a dirt bike at 9?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a tradition.
Yeah, for sure, man. We love we love dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and things like that. So that kind of always been a thing in my family, man. Just always riding a 4-wheeler or a dirt bike.
I love it. Well, Greedy, certainly love seeing the success that you've had and that moment. Like that's one of those things that I certainly won't forget it, and you were the principal part of it, so I know you won't forget it either. But hopefully many more moments to come that lead this team into the playoffs and the opportunity to do that on a real grand stage. And you'll certainly get a chance on Christmas Day in front of the world, as you mentioned, Lambeau Field against the team with the best record in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers, and what a Christmas present that would be for everybody to come out of there with a big win. So thanks for the time, and best of luck this weekend.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. The great Greedy Williams there. When we come back, oh, yeah, get ready to pay attention to the score. When a medical mistake causes you injury, call the medical malpractice attorneys at 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Elk and Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Browns. Also want to remind you that OBM is the Ohio Business Machines is the preferred copier provider of the Cleveland Browns, who have all the X's and O's for your office. Call 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. And Christmas come early.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. What a real treat. The boys are back together.
What a read out of you. That's a fantastic 2 reads out of you.
Come on.
What am I even here for?
Come on. What do you mean? You're here for joy and frivolity? I'm having to diversify my skill set, get Big H hosting going.
No. Look, if you're going to do a segment, then this is the one. It's the scores.
It's the scores.
Well, we're not going to be robbed of the scores 2 weeks in a row. I'll be damned if we're going to be robbed of the scores 2 weeks in a row.
And the crazy thing is, you and I talked about it. You know, we did on like our own. We scribbled down on. We went like 16-0 last week, and we don't even get to really.
Week.
There's no verification for it. It's sad. Nobody's going to count it for us, even though
one of the great runs.
It feels like they should. Now, here's the good part, though, is that 2 weeks ago, the last time we actually did get to do the scores. Oh, Beau, it's 10-4 for you, 9-5 for me. That puts us here at 28 and 24 games over 500, respectively. 28. Beau Bishop, put your hands together. Put your hands together.
Now that he's out of the car, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Let him hear it.
Yes.
What a time. What a treat.
By the way, just so everybody's aware, I was talking about it earlier, the 15-pounder that I've got going right now in the sous vide. I seared it at 475 for 15 minutes early, the first sear before I lock it in before I threw in the sous vide. So it's going to be in there for about 7, and then we'll finish it at 550 for 10 minutes to just really crust up that goodness on the outside. But Beau, you and I had talked.
That provides you the full sear right away before you, because I'm going to do a tenderloin. I wonder if that same technique would work.
You can, because a tenderloin is actually even smaller. You can. What I would do is sear it in a cast iron.
Okay.
And then
I've done that previously.
Yeah, get some juices in there, and even after, like, you sear it, then throw a little garlic, toast a little garlic, a little rosemary in there if you're into that flavor. And then get the juices of that, and that all ends up going into the bag at the end. Then it's a real treat.
All goes in.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I got this. I sourced this from a rancher that I knew growing up in Montana, and he told me that this was his number 1 brown spotted that produced this.
Still dying on
prime
that
rib.
sword, Beau. Nothing's changed.
That's right.
Still dying on the sword.
Go straight to hell, Black Angus.
People talk about Wagyu. No.
Oh,
brown
no.
spotted.
The
Ohio brown spotted.
It's no BS. No BS with the brown spotted. That's the slogan.
We have 7 minutes to get through like 15 games. We got to go.
It's going to be quick. We got to go.
There we go. Thank you, Nick. Thursday night foosball. I think it's the final Thursday night of the year.
Yes.
49ers, Titans down in Nashville. Little Christmas Eve foosball. Zegura.
Nerd. Prime rib. Nerd. Niners. Is this heaven? Niners. Ram it. Nerd. Watch me drink my coffee.
AJ
Let's
Green
go.
is activated.
Beau, you missed it.
Or
You
AJ
missed
Brown,
it.
whoever.
He said that. He said Kyle Shanahan's seat now is as cool as some good spumoni.
Oh my gosh.
Gibby had to say it.
Same.
I know. Yes.
Yeah, what am I going to say? 8-6. All right.
Doing a nice job.
Yeah, coming back, coming around, saving himself. Good job. Saturday foosball, Saturday night. The red-hot Indianapolis Colts at the not-so-hot Arizona Cardinals, Beau Bishop.
A home dog? Cards by 2.
Erroneous. Jonathan Taylor, Gibbe's MVP dark horse.
I went on a rant this
runs
week.
for 300 yards. They just gave up 150 yards to a guy named Craig Reynolds.
Home dog?
Colts.
Jeez, Carson
Huge.
Wentz? How many passes did he complete? 3?
5.
Didn't matter.
Curling up on the couch Sunday afternoon, Baltimore visiting Cincinnati, 1 o'clock. Zegura.
I'm going with my heart and my head, and they both tell me Bengals 30, Ravens 15.
Joe Burrow disparaging Cincinnati. Only a Southwest Ohio kid could do it. God bless him. Go Burrow, go Cincinnati. They win by 10.
We like Cincinnati.
By the way, Joe
had a
Burrow,
nice time in Cincinnati.
misguided. Big time misguided.
I'm not a fan of their chili either. I don't know.
Well, no.
I'm not talking about the chili. I'm talking about the nightlife.
Nightlife?
Oh.
Jeff Ruby's?
You ruined You totally go after the
Ruby's. You know how I
nightlife.
feel about Ruby's.
Ruby's
Yeah,
elite.
the Ruby's I'm for. Yeah, Ruby's elite.
The precinct.
All right, Bishop, Buffalo plus 2.5 at New England.
Oh,
big one.
This game of the week, isn't it?
I don't know. Between
than ours?
Baltimore, Cincy, and Buffalo, New England.
New England by 3.
Same.
Next, Detroit visiting the gutless Falcons.
Is this real?
This is real.
They're a juggernaut now?
Here come the Lions, kids.
Oh, my God. This is great.
Playing themselves right out of the number 1 pick. Maybe even the number 2 or number 3 if they keep on winning.
Is it me?
Yeah, Zegura. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
No Goff, though, right?
Oh, yeah, he's in COVID protocol. I can't keep up with who's in and
Then
who's
even
out.
if they're
I'm
gutless,
just reading the team.
even if they're gutless, they're still better. Falcons, 35,000. Lions, -4.
Lions, huge win, 31-29.
Up next, here's your inmate game of the
Same.
week. Jags, Jets from New York. 5 people in
This is
attendance
real.
over under.
Who got this game? My God.
It's a pick.
I stuck my neck out for
a pick.
Jacksonville last week. I'll go with the home team, Jets.
They don't have. They have like nobody on the
They
Jets.
put 15 on the
guys,
COVID
no
list
head
this week.
coach.
Did they
No
really?
problem.
Oh, yeah.
Jets.
Nothing to see here.
All right, Chargers.
Chargers
Yes.
visiting Houston.
Make the number bigger. Don't care. Chargers.
Rams at Vikings. The
Without
red-hot
Dalvin
LA
Cook.
Rams.
Without red hot Vikings. No Dalvin Cook though. COVID.
Man, well, thanks for coming. It was fun while it lasted, Minnesota.
I mean, these
Ram
games
it by 4.
These games all seem so obvious, and we're doing a lot. We basically have done the same every game.
Giants at
Oh my God!
Eagles.
Without precedent, a week off the scores. It's pandemonium, chaos.
Well, we got to do them quick.
Giants
Philly
at
by
Eagles.
$1 billion.
Eagles ram
Eagles by $1 billion.
it. Bucks ram it. There's no way.
Bucks ram it.
No way. 3 10-pointers covered. None.
No.
0. Forget it. Not a chance.
Tampa Bay visiting Carolina. The Panthers
Bucks ram it.
falling off.
Yes, ram it.
Bears at Seattle.
I think Seattle stinks. Give me the Bears to win it
They
outright.
I think they both stink.
Bears outright.
Seattle huge. Seattle huge. 17-13.
I think I'd rather watch Jets Jags instead of Bears Seahawks. That's where I'm at. I think I'd rather watch that garbage game.
There's some bad games out here, man.
There are.
At least you got to watch Fields. He's fun.
Here's a must-win. This is a good one for the late day fans. Denver, Las Vegas. Win and you keep going. Lose and we'll see you next year.
Drew Lock. Vegas, baby.
Pukers at Chiefs. Somehow this is the number that it is, and the Chiefs don't have Tyreek Hill, and they don't have Travis Kelce right now.
They're not having any of them like that's known?
It's not for sure that they won't have them. But
Correct.
as of now, yes.
Do they have 15?
Yes.
Do they have Chris Jones?
Yes.
Chiefs.
Think so.
Chiefs, 847,000.
Oh, no, don't do it.
Steelers, 846,993.
Oh, God forbid.
Let's go.
Pay attention to that score. Might take me 10 minutes to do the math. Final one, Sunday Night Foosball. Washington at Dallas. Washington gets their QB back off of the COVID list earlier today. I don't know what to make of Dallas.
And is the Monday
about
night
Mike
game? This
McCarthy?
is the Sunday night game?
Yeah.
And Monday night is
New
Miami
Orleans
against Ian
and
Book?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let
How
me
do you
introduce
end up
to
with
some
this
crap.
scenario?
Did you guys see McCarthy talking about why he didn't call timeout? I really wanted the 3. They got it down to the 10. No. We'll just we won't let Dak throw to one of our receivers in the end zone. We want 3 instead.
3's good. 3's okay. Goodness
Dallas
gracious.
by $1 billion.
Dallas 40, football team 30.
Ooh.
Wow. All right.
It was too fast. It didn't have the normal zest.
Bishop can be back.
Well,
Bishop, stick around for the next segment.
There was no time.
Well,
I
there's
didn't know
so-
we could even get to Bed Bath & Beyond.
There's so much more to come here, folks.
There
So
you go.
much more to come. Cleveland Browns Daily, ESPN Cleveland. Catch the Kevin Stefanski Show presented by Howard Hanna with Beau and I tonight at 7 on the University Hospital's Cleveland Browns radio network. Coach will join at 7:15, and MJ Stewart checks in at 7:30. I have a feeling that's going to be an interview you don't want to miss. He's got a
you would have that feeling.
He's got a great story about an uncle that is it's great. You're going to love it. I promise that. All right, Browns Packers. Beau,
let's go.
Predict it. Go ahead.
I'd say this, that the loss Monday was as gut-wrenching as any as I've been around the organization. I mean, it just broke me. It was so hard, and I'm just so appreciative of the guts of those who played, because it was awesome to root for them. So shorthanded, and to put up that effort. You deserve better.
Yes.
You deserve better.
Yeah, Hollywood messed up the ending right there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, good.
It's like Game of Thrones.
It was. It really was. Man, if the football gods taketh, they got to giveth. Come on. Let's get it. Let's get it done in Green Bay, kids.
Browns ram it. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. The next level is next. Thanks for listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. Merry Christmas. No CBD Friday. We'll be back Monday, hopefully, for a victory.